Hello everyone, welcome this morning to A Farmer's Daughter. I just started this channel, so welcome if you're new watching this. My father is a foreigner farming in the Philippines, and he has quite a successful channel, controversial too. So I decided I'd show y'all my garden and what I do on a daily basis at home, and yeah, I'm gonna get into it. Today I wanted to show everyone my potatoes. So this bed here, this is a raised bed. My fiance made all of these raised beds here. You've got a small bed over there. Right now we have 3 raised beds. There used to be one here where we have this patio. We just built this patio. It's not quite finished. We've moved on to some other projects before we fully finish the patio. But it's comfortable, so you know, when things get comfortable, you move on to something else. Oh yeah, here, I'm going to show you my little herb garden really quick. Oh, this is my little gnome. He's standing guard. I've got some patchouli here, some oregano, some thyme, some rosemary, some basil, and then I have this beautiful plant here. It's called Cerveza and Lime, and it has the most amazing smell. Like, I can just pick off a piece. Actually, I'm going to put this guy back in the dirt, because if I pick this off and put him back down in there, and I'll water him later today, he should grow. I've accidentally pulled off pieces like this before, and now I've got a few little guys like that growing. But I like to take it and just kind of squeeze it a little, and it has the most amazing smell. I'm not a perfumey kind of girl, but this Cerveza and Lime, it smells great. Let's see what we've got over here. So our onions, we've had these onions in here for maybe 2 months, I'd say now. We were hoping they would bulb out a little bit more and we would get actual bulbs. Our landlord has actually come over and told us that if we just scoot the dirt out from around the base like this, they'd grow. Well, we had this one bulb out just a little bit. Let's see if I can get a better angle on this. Just a little bit, but none of the other ones really. A little bit on this guy. But the rest of them are just straight shoots growing out of the soil. So if anyone has any tips on that, how to make them all bulb like this so we can dice them up and eat them, please comment, let me know. Over here, I believe these are cantaloupe. I didn't really ask. These were some seeds that we actually had sitting up here on this little shelf, and it fell down into the soil over here. And it was just a complete mound of all of these guys piled on top of each other. So instead of just digging them out and tossing them, we decided to let them grow. So we'll see how that turns out. I'll give y'all an update on these and what it grows. We have carrots over here. I've picked these. I've picked a few of them before. They're very short, stocky little carrots. And I forget what they're called. I would have to have my other half here to know exactly what they're called. He's got the seeds. Might as well harvest a couple of these. I think this guy over here is ready to harvest. This guy's too small. Look at. I think he's been in there for almost a month, and that's all he's grown. So maybe we'll stick him back down in there. All right, let's pull this guy. Nice, nice, not too bad. I'm going to bury that guy back over. He's just not big enough yet. And I don't feel any kind of resistance to this guy. He doesn't have a carrot yet. Oh, there's a good sized one. That's surprising for how small this stalk is on it. Let's pull this guy too next to it. Oh, that's a perfect little circle carrot. Beautiful. I love fresh harvest stuff. Organic right from the garden. Alright, let's take a peek at these potatoes. So I think I mentioned in a previous video that this whole bed right here started from 7 small slips. Those small slips came from a potato that a friend planted in a pot. All these slips that I pulled off the one potato were about yay tall when I planted them. And now I've got this entire bed. But I do want to kind of peek down in here. I'm going to see how deep the roots are going or if we have any potatoes yet. I know when we did the red potatoes a couple of months ago, I think I was a little disappointed at our turnout. I feel like we planted at the wrong time, and then we had a very late frost this year, so it just really messed with a lot of things. I'm not feeling any little potatoes down in there, but the roots go really deep, so I'm guessing there may be a foot down in there at this point. Yeah, this is going everywhere. We're gonna have potatoes growing in the neighbor's yard. Oh, and then here we've got corn. This guy looks ready. He's completely dry at the top. This is how you know your corn's ready to pick. So we're gonna just pick this guy. This one looks ready too. Yep, it's very, very dry. And the kernels are starting to dry out. You can kind of see in there. So make sure this is in focus. There we go. And most of these corns can be picked now. I feel some nice juicy kernels in there. Some of them are just very small. We had some issues with pollination this year. We debated having a bee box for 2 or 3 months because we just don't know enough about bees and keeping bees to just out of nowhere start the project. But I think that's something that, I know it's something we're going to do this next spring. But this year, I think it would have been beneficial to knock some of this off and pollinate manually. That would have been a big help. Noted for next year, for sure. Let's see, down here, we've got some okra growing, and I think we just harvested all of the okra yesterday. It's all on the kitchen table. Oh, here's one. There's one, just a little guy. We have so much okra, we don't know what to do with it, honestly. I'm not a big fan of pickled okra. I do like fried okra. We do have an air fryer. That has really helped with recipes being healthy this summer. It's my rose bush. I just chopped the heck out of this thing. When I moved here in November, this rose bush was definitely a bush. Down here you can see there's about 6 stalks left, and I came out here and I trimmed it up just a little bit in, I want to say, December or January, and I just came out here about 3 or 4 days ago and really trimmed it up. My mom went to school for horticulture, and she taught me how to properly prune a rose bush. So she has this, she's taught me about the 3-stalk rule. So I was gonna bring this down to just 3 branches coming out the base down there. But then I get down to the base and I realize there's 2 of them. So we've got 2 rose bushes just slammed right together. So I left 6 stalks coming out the bottom. I still need to shape up the top, but it's still blooming, so I figured I'd let it do its thing until this fall or winter, and I'll shape up the top and get it all looking pretty for this next spring. Oh, it is toasty today. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was gonna share a little peek of my eggplant. Now these are Black Beauty eggplants. We did pick one because down here we've got some different colors going on. I think my fiance was just a little confused as to why we've got these orange ones, so we picked one to see what it was about. I'm pretty convinced that it might be like a cross between a different eggplant, or it's just very immature. The other one we picked came off of right next to this guy, and he was orange just like that. It's still so immature we couldn't really tell if it was just the color. Hold on. Let's see. This one's got a little bit of the orange too, and so does this guy. If anybody knows anything about eggplants and why all the ones on the plant are this dark color, and then we've got one that's just like a orangey color. If anyone knows anything about eggplants, definitely shoot me some tips. Leave it in the comments. This plant is beautiful. It has a whole bunch of just beautiful dark eggplants. Let's see. Whew, I am hot today. It's hot today. I'm melting. Okay. Down here, so we picked a couple zucchini last night, and there was one from down here that I had been waiting for. I knew it wasn't ready. It was just a little bit longer than a football, and it was not ready. So I wanted to leave it another 3 or 4 days. But my fiance felt like it was so big it was ready to be pulled. So we pulled it and cut it open, and it was not. Big bummer, but that's the beauty of having a garden. More things will grow. All these beautiful blossoms in here. And hopefully some of the little ants will help pollinate. I don't know. The pollination issues are real this year. Excuse my cough. It's taken me so long to upload a second video because I've been really fighting, I guess, the butt end of this cold. I had a cold, I had chills and fever, might have been a little bit of a flu. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm still fighting with it a little bit. Down here, oh, that's sharp. Just got my finger pretty good. Got this beautiful butternut squash coming in. I don't know why it's got color like that. I've never personally grown butternut squash. Growing up, my great Uncle John, he grew a lot of just regular big green squash. But this year we've got butternut, we've got green squash, and we have yellow crookneck squash. Those have been absolutely amazing, the yellow crookneck squash. I'll take you in the house in a moment and show you what they're looking like, because I believe we picked them all. Oh, there's one. There is a beautiful one, actually, and it's about ready to be picked. Beautiful. And then over here, I might as well show everybody everything. A full update of everything in the yard. Alright, so these are pretty sweets. And I have yet to try any of these peppers. I probably should be trying them with this stick. It might burn it out of me. Oh, look what we have here. I don't know if you can see that. This is why we check the garden, to make sure we don't have any friends like this hanging out and destroying things. I'm just gonna smush all those guys so we don't have them invading our crop here. Alright, and then over here we have some sweet banana peppers. Oh, these are just beautiful. They are ready to be picked. Look at those. Look at this whole... Oh my goodness, that one's beautiful too. Lovely, lovely. Love it, love it. Over here, got some little tiny California bell peppers. Little tiny tinies. So cute. And I will probably be eating those with breakfast in a few days. Oh, the tomatoes are... the tomatoes. I've been growing tomatoes my whole life. My dad, my papa, you know, my mom's great Uncle John, my great Uncle John, he had a garden my whole childhood. And I've seen lots of tomatoes grown that are just absolutely beautiful. And I've seen some that they get split like this at the bottom. You know, I've seen all kinds of things happen. Oh, look at this beautiful, beautiful little yellow ladybug. Anyway, this year, as you can see, all this white stuff down here is actually calcium. We thought that we were having them split. Let me see if I can show you what we were really dealing with the most. This here. So this here, I'm not sure what's happening here. I've seen it before, but not on the scale that we're dealing with. This is almost every single plant out here, so we know it's not specific to the kind of tomato we got. I think we have 9 different varieties out here. So for them to all be doing this and growing funny, and we're not sure what's going on. We've put calcium, we've put all kinds of stuff in the soil. This is just a pest. There's a buggy that thinks these these tomatoes are delicious. We're gonna go over here and put this in compost. This is just our little front yard compost bucket. We compost everything. We take it to our compost piles in the backyard. We turn them over and we use them for planting next spring. But if anyone has any tips on what to do about these tomatoes or for these tomatoes, it would be very appreciated. Because so far our efforts of calcium and different vitamins and things is not working. Well, I need to go get some trimming scissors, some shears. This beautiful mint. This mint is blooming, and these flowers smell just like the rest of the mint. Just run your fingers down it, you smell exactly like mint. These were all about as tall as me a month ago or so. Right when they started to bloom, I cropped all the tops of them off, because we just couldn't see each other standing out here on the porch. So I gave it a little haircut. This is my cute little fairy garden. And this is what I meant about the beer cheese. Or, I mean, not the beer cheese. Excuse me. The Cerveza and Lime plant. This was a piece I accidentally broke off, and I just stuck it in the dirt, and it's grown its whole, another whole little plant. So, oh, Pepper! This is Pepper. Pepper's our little garden guard dog. She likes to keep the gophers out, and she's a sweet girl. Oh, Pepper, I love you, Pepper. Oh, I love you too. Oh, Pepper dog. She is such a sweetheart. Oh, my sweet girl. Oh, Pepper. Oh, Pepper, look at that little leg going. Oh, I am dripping like crazy. Woo! It's a hot day. And it's not even noon yet. I have no idea how hot it's going to be today. I think yesterday was 90-something here. Crazy humidity. The heat index was 107. I was born and raised in California, so this Kentucky weather is definitely different. Oh, excuse me. I'm not used to the humidity. I'm used to a very dry California heat. But I'm not complaining, you know, I feel like I can handle the heat here a little bit better than California. That hot, dry heat just, ugh. I'd rather not be baked. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna grab some new trimming shears. Phew. Let's see here. My love bought these for me yesterday. Pull these out. Let's go throw this away. All right, let's get back to work. Which never work in the garden. Hello, sweet girl. This is Layla. She's just gonna stand there and be Layla. Layla's my second daughter. My oldest is 14, and she is visiting California right now, and very much has been a pain in my butt since she's been gone. But that's another story. Anyway, I'm gonna go cut off some rotten tomato pieces. Right. So I cut off my camera for a moment, chopped off most of the stuff that needed to come off. I was over here looking at the peppers, our little chilies. I wanted to show everyone how gorgeous they were. We have dozens and dozens and dozens. I think there's over 100 chilies between these 4 little plants. It's well over 100. Not sure what to do with these yet. We might just pickle them and have some jalapenos or some spicy jarred peppers. Yeah, so that's the garden. I'm gonna come over here and look at my succulents and see how they're doing today. Put that up there. Alright, so this is one of my favorite things. My little succulent garden here. I have cacti, I have aloe vera. Let's see. Yeah, that comes in pretty clear. I think these are so pretty. From the littlest one to the biggest one. I think all succulents are beautiful. Just wanted to give everyone a good peek of everything. I've got a little hen and chick down in here. I'm not sure what a lot of these are called because over the years I've lost labels and stuff, or I've just gotten another plant because I thought it was cute and just forgot what it was called. all these guys. This is starting to sow its way into the dirt down here. Usually when it does that, I'll break them off like that and just let them go. They will grow out of the sand by themselves. See how down here, what was in the sand has got some roots. My goal is by next spring, you can see in all the sand, there's little succulents growing. When I moved here, this was just kind of an overgrown area. It had weeds and rocks and things. I had a little bench here that I think had some potted plants from last spring in it. So I tore everything out, I dug everything out, and these were the rocks that were in there. There were a lot more rocks in there. So I kept some of the rocks, and I decided to fill in around all the rocks with paver sand. And it's turned out very nice. I'm loving it. My goal is to, by next spring, have the entire sand area completely filled with these little ground cover succulents. I think there's about 9 or 10 different kinds of these ground cover succulents. Let's see if I can get this to focus. So these little tiny guys here are actually different from these little tiny guys here. See how these kind of spiral as they grow up? And these are more like in a little bushel or a bunch. They kind of have a pattern too, it's just not as spiraled. This cactus my kids call Pickle. And I think I'm going to take one of these soon and try to plant it and get this to come out. I don't know much about planting this kind of cacti. I do have, let's see, over here, when I got this guy, pull him out of here. When I first got this guy, he only had this, and this little broken one down here that is healed. This little one down in the middle. Since then, I've had all these other new little babies pop out. And I've pulled some out and transplanted them, and they're growing great. But I'm really scared to do that with this one because I don't know much about this guy yet. We do have another one kind of like it back here. This is the 3rd or 4th one of these I've had, and we just keep getting spider mites that like to come and munch on it and kill it. I'll come out here one morning and the entire top piece is just soggy and falling off. So this guy's lived pretty well. I've really drenched him with spider mite killer, spider mite spray. This is the only part of our garden that I put any kind of pest control in because I've had some problems with the pests up here. Even on here, there's some, I'm not sure what this is. I don't know if it's a growth or if it's like, if it got burnt and that's just left from the burn that it got. I'm really not sure. This guy was completely tipped over the other day, almost laying on the ground. And I figured out it was just because it had all this new growth coming out of the top and it was making it very, very, very heavy. So it was just laying on the ground. So, like I was hoping would happen with that guy when I transplanted him. Actually, I have one in here. It's doing really well, if you see him here. And these are doing really well too. I put these in here a few days ago. And I'm not sure how cactus get their roots, but it's working. think I know enough about plants and gardening just from my raising. But I guess I'm spoiled in the way that I don't have to Google much to be able to get a beautiful garden to grow. This guy, he was in the house. He's sad from being in the house. I was hoping he'd recover a little bit quicker. He's been out here for 2 or 3 days, and he's just still looking really sad. Yeah. This one I love so much. Oh, I got a piece of cactus stuck in my knuckle. That's fun. I love this guy really, like a ton. I love the shape and the color and all that. And I have another one similar to it that I absolutely love. I love these guys. I have some flowering succulents. These flowers open up every day. And these guys too. And at the end of the day, or when it gets not so sunny, or the weather changes, they close back up. And then they fall off and grow a little leaf behind it, and then they grow a new flower in front of it. So this plant has been very interesting. It's my favorite succulent this year, I'd have to say. My very favorite. I've got some close to favorites, but I've never had a flowering succulent like this one. I've had a ground cover one, much like this one, but it looked almost frosty. It looked like it was frosted, much like this guy here is frosted looking. But it was like this, and it was a ground cover, and it did have a beautiful purple flower. It was in California, and I had a garden of that was bigger than this whole area, and I mean overflowing with it, just blooming purple flowers and a solid bed of green succulent. Here's one of my little things I've painted. I wanted to just do it as a base coat, but I think I like it. I might just leave it like that. I've got other things I can paint. Whew. Well, everyone, it is hot, and I think I'm ready to go in, have some tea, and get the kids going on their chores. I think they're mostly done with their rooms already. Thanks for watching. If you haven't checked out my dad's channel, check him out. A foreigner farming in the Philippines. Sorry. Yeah, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hope to see you guys soon. Take care.